Gorgeous view of the old Brooklyn Bridge sitting atop the East River. Greetings, everyone. Glad to have you here with us on this Wednesday night edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg alongside. And our sideline reporter tonight is Doris Burke. This is their first chance to take a look at the Bulls this season. They can only manage it. The Nets have gone just 1 for 5 from the field to start the quarter.
And no doubt last season the Bulls were clearly preparing for the playoffs. They played their rookies but added a lot of play.
And that's good from Jack on the assist by Johnson. Jack's got his first 3 points of the game. Chicago leading. Goes back up. Noah. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Yeah, good job to take it right at the D.
Bucket. And you look at Joakim Noah. I mean, one of those hybrid talents. As a center,
and he's good on the second. And going back to Joakim Noah, he really is a hybrid. He holds American, Swedish, and French citizenships. He's truly a man of the world, and he's worldly on the floor. He can guard and play a lot of different positions.
And Kevin, he looks like a man of the world. He has a unique style unto himself, but I'll take the versatility and the hustle he brings on my team any day. If he's healthy, he's a factor.
Brooklyn shooting their
number of astronomical contracts. It's because he does everything for you. He's like one of those items you buy that touts everything you need, nothing you don't. Well, to me, that's Joe Johnson.
Rose kicks to Freak. Ripped away. In transition, here come the Nets. Johnson's got the ball. Shot's good from Young.
And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes.
yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
Now here's Freak. Defense is right there. From deep, Rose. And again, no good. The team that was contending for a championship, where ideally would you like him to be? Where would you slot him?
I put him in that first or second scoring role because he's so good and scores so effortlessly. And at some point, I think he's going to hoist that Larry O'Brien trophy.
And really smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Showed nice basketball IQ. I agree, Greg. I mean, if he finds his spot on the perimeter and doesn't force it, I think his outside shot will be hard to block no matter who's defending him.
Offensive rebound. Robinson passes to Young. Back to Johnson. The Nets working the ball around now. Another shot. He takes it up and lays it in.
I'll tell you what, the post play has been rock solid right off the bat.
It really has, and they've created a lot of high percentage shots in the paint here already.
Well, we've got a moment to look back at last year's Bulls. Third in rebounds, third in free throw percentage. And they also showed up in the top 5 in opponent field goal percentage. A very improved defensive team.
Yeah, and going back to their rebounding, very few teams could outmuscle them inside. The size and toughness to scrap for every carom off the backboard.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Bargnani has checked in for Young. Hollis Jefferson comes in for Johnson. And it's Larkin in for Jarrett Jack. The pass to Bogdanovich. Picked by Bargnani. Here's Hollis Jefferson, covered by Mirotic. Hollis Jefferson passes to Robinson. Here's Bogdanovich, and the Nets another 3.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Mirotic the screen. Now here's Freak, guarded closely, and he converts the layup. Freak's got his second basket of the night.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
Larkin kicks to Bogdanovich. There's a screen by Robinson. A baseline J. Second shot opportunity, and the layup is good. Robinson's got his first basket of the night.
The tenacity on the interior, just battling, bringing that effort and will for second chance points.
Here's how about that shot.
Big time, big time.
Incredible.
What a three at the horn as they end the quarter on a high order.
And Pau Gasol, after some great years and some difficult years, talks about now his newfound excitement playing with the Chicago Bulls. I think you'd have to say that Gasol's decision to go to Chicago. Brooklyn making some changes. Robinson's checked in for Lopez. Chicago going with an almost entirely new group here. Joakim Noah's checked in for Gibson. McDermott comes in for Mirotic. Freak's checked in for Mike Dunleavy. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for Aaron Brooks. So the Bulls 5 right now. Rose is the 1 with Butler as the 2. Freak is out there with McDermott. And it's Noah in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
I tell you what, he has quite the act to follow, but Fred Hoiberg was a quick choice for the brass in Chicago. Signed that 5-year deal over the summer, was easily one of the most in-demand coaches available.
Here's Bogdanovich, defended by Butler. 2 minutes. Here's Larkin. Not enough on that one as it misses.
That's an unusual, surprising miss for him. Typically, he's good on those inside.
Freak kicks to Butler. And the foul called on Joe Johnson. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
Already he's looking at his 3rd foul. I think the coach will probably look to sit him down until the 3rd quarter.
The shot by Butler, nobody around.
Well, this is painful to watch. He can't get one to go down. Really having trouble finding his game here in this half.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Well, Greg, for Hoiberg, it's his first job as an NBA head coach. Now, we know he played. He's been a part of an NBA front office. Clark, he came from Iowa State, where he honed his coaching skills and was highly respected.
Yeah, very much respected, particularly as an offensive coach. And we know the Bulls are pretty solid defensively, and he'll be looking to ramp up that offensive approach for that team, and I think he will.
Second free throw, no good. Nets were the hottest team and story a few years back, certainly, but last season they were put up for sale, surprisingly to some, Clark, midway through the year.
Yeah, that was odd timing given the new arena and rebranding. I mean, you would think after all that effort to rebuild the team, you would see it through.
And for the Nets being for titles, and since the move to Brooklyn, they have had trouble going deep in the playoffs.
Chicago making a switch here. Gibson's checked in.
Take over a team in a rebuild mode. I mean, that's what the Nets seem to be looking at for the next few seasons. He came up short.
Here's Larkin. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Outside Robinson. They set the pick. Off the screen. Johnson's shot is off.
Well, that's an excellent challenge right there. Good job contesting that shot by the defender.
And that's foul number 2. Maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
Really impressed with the way Jimmy Butler last season made big strides in his game, going from a supporting role player to someone you can build your team around.
So he hits 1 of 2 from the stripe. And Jimmy Butler had the career highs across the board last season. Won the Most Improved Player of the Year award. Really picking up his production in his 4th season.
You know, we had seen the flashes of potential in Butler before. Last season, he sustained great play and really took everything to the next level.
First one falls for him. Mirotic is checked in for Jimmy Butler. Johnson hits them both. Last outing for the Bulls, it was a loss to Cleveland.
And it wasn't just about the bad shooting. It was really more so about the bad offense. They just didn't execute well. The screens weren't there. The spacing was poor, and thusly the defeat.
Well, you've laid out a couple of the details that lead to good offense well and not moving the ball or players well. They didn't execute anything on the offensive end.
He knocks it down, but wait a minute. The officials are getting together. They may want to review this one. And the teams are going to have to wait before heading to the locker room. They're going to bring out the monitor and see if he got that shot off in time.
And even though left in this game, and really it's about getting the call right.
Yeah, and the NBA Replay Center in Secaucus is queuing up the footage for the officials on the floor. The new process is making
call stands, no basket, so no. We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half. So we're making some changes. Thomas Robinson comes in for Thaddeus Young. Hollis Jefferson subbed in for Joe Johnson. So Chicago going with an almost entirely new group. Portis, he's checked in for Noah. Mirotic comes in for Pau Gasol. Freaks checked in for Doug McDermott. And Dunleavy subbed in for Derrick Rose. Jarrett Jack is out there with Bogdanovich. Then it's Robinson, then it's Brook Lopez, and it's Hollis Jefferson in at the 3 spot. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. Brooklyn with the ball, down by 12. Here's Bargnani, finds the bottom of the bucket from 13 feet out.
Yeah, that's asking a lot from that defender.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, he just doesn't have the size to really be effective in that kind of matchup.
Mirotic, the screen, and Brooks. Here we go. Solid play in the low block, and that one's good. Brooks has got the lead up to 12 now for the Bulls.
Well, guys, they came in here and really took charge from the opening tip. This is such a tough thing to do for a visiting team. This contest was played on their terms.
And, you know, that's not the way it usually works in the NBA. It's going to be a great win, and you know it's going to be a happy play.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaq and the Jet as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, Joakim Noah. He came out of the locker room at halftime and was immediately on fire. That third quarter was his, and he did not hesitate to exert his will.
Joakim Noah.
And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Hope you enjoyed the show. From my